People, welcome. Welcome once again to another episode of 18 Yard Box, where we dissect what is going on in the world of football. Today, we're focusing on Arsenal and what happened over the weekend. Arsenal news, Arsenal transfer news, updates on Urine Timber, and team news. Before we go further, please remember to like and subscribe to the content. That is the bread and butter of the channel. And leave your comments in the comment section. I will be looking into that once this video becomes live. What a game on Saturday morning. It wasn't the greatest of game. It wasn't uh, the greatest football you would ever see. But if there is something that I want to start with in terms of analyzing the game state, is Arsenal tried to establish control. We tried to establish dominance. We tried to exact our influence in the game quickly. When the team news came out, we saw the team news, Aaron Ramsey in goal, Thomas Partey as a right back, right? Ben White, partner with William Saliba. That's probably the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that we've had that partnership. So this is the first time that we're having team Thomas Partey, Ben White, William Saliba, and Yuri Timber playing together as a back four. And if I'm not mistaken, also it's the first time we're having a midfield combination of Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Martin Odegaard. But as the game evolved, what we noticed was Thomas Partey was playing central most of the time. He's our best midfielder right now in terms of central midfielder. Who are the central midfielders at the club? Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Jorginho. And you can add El Neni. We know he's not going to play, but you can add him. He's one of the midfielders at the club. But without a shadow of doubt, Thomas Partey is the best central midfielder currently. Maybe Declan Rice is going to surpass that. But in terms of function, in terms of what we're trying to do, he's the best. And showing him into a right back just then, it didn't sit right with me, right? I didn't understand it. But when the game evolved, I saw that okay, these people are sitting in the bank of 8 players, just defending. They're not trying to come out. They're not trying to do anything. The first 25 minutes, we had 91% of the ball. That is insane. 91% of possession. And what happened in the first 25 minutes? The best chance of the game still fell to Nottingham Forest, right? Saliba headed the ball out and the opposition defender headed in, and just miscommunication between Saliba and Timber. And the striker was strong. Ramsey was right out of the line and he was able to stop the guy from having a free run of trying to dribble around him, just going to an empty net. The team shape in the first half was excellent. After that moment, we woke up and the shape was excellent. But what I was actually confused about was this guy right here. Mikel Arteta has always been somebody who says he wants a left-sided defender. He's always said that ever since he's been at Arsenal. He signed Pablo Mari. He's played Gabriel Magalhaes. Always played. I think Gabriel Magalhaes has played something consecutive games in a row for Arsenal. No injuries. This guy always plays. This guy is the machine. You need 6, 7 players in your team who are always available. And if you have a player who 95% of the time is available and is also a classic player like this guy, you just have to say bravo. But for some odd reason, I don't understand it. We have a squad now, so we have to trust the manager that he has his plan. Anybody who is carrying nuts or niggles is going to take them out, so he's not going to risk them. So we can manage the minutes of the players more, right? But there was no injuries. We didn't hear anything. Mikel was asked in the press conference. He didn't really give anything away. It says the game against Forest was the first time Gabriel Magalhaes has not been named in the PF starting level for Arsenal since August 2021. It ends the Brazilians' run of 73 consecutive league starts for the Gunners. Do you know what I mean? 73 games. That's 2 seasons and some change. No injuries, always plays. Gabriel, Bukayo Saka, Aaron Ramsdale, Benjamin White, Martin Odegaard. These are the mainstay of the team over the last 2 years. They always play. So you build the nucleus of the team around those players. Thomas Partey here and there sometimes is not available, but these guys always play. So we want to increase that quota of players who always play. Yeah, you can miss the odd game here and there, but even if you're not playing, we don't want you to be riddled with injury, and that's the reason why you're not playing. And that will link me to the injury by Euron Timber, right? As we all saw, Euron Timber got injured. This my man, this my baller, got injured in the first half. Got a yellow card, a late tackle. And what happened was I expected him to be taken out. But Mikel didn't take him out because they checked and said it was fine. But it looks bad. I don't know. The prognosis is not particularly good. It looks bad. My hope is it's not ACL or an MCL. Even if it's injured, okay. People are saying it's a calf injury because he was holding the back of his knee. Some people are saying it's a knee injury and it's torn his ACL. Well, apparently he's going for a scan tomorrow. And you know, Arsenal with injuries, we're not particularly the luckiest club out there in terms of injury. Where I know last season, like we wasn't that terrible, but typically we're not particularly lucky when it comes to injury. So touch wood, I hope, because I want this guy to play. I want this guy to play those big games, right? It looks like a big game play. It looks like a character. It looks like somebody who's going to stand up to the challenge. I mean, if we play what Tierney against Nottingham Forest, we'll probably win. I know Ateta doesn't have faith in Tierney. You've seen it. He's not even on the bench on Saturday, yesterday. It doesn't look like Mikel has faith in Tierney. So we need Euron Timber to be fit. We need it. We just signed this guy. He looks like an amazing footballer. Mikel trusts him enough to play him at left back ahead of Tomiyasu, ahead of Kieran Tierney. He's a boy that just got in. He's confident. He was exceptional against Manchester City in the Community Shield. He has strength. He has pace. He has stamina. He could run for days. He can dribble on the sixpence. He can pick a pass. He can defend. He can actually defend. He can actually get stuck in. He can invert into the midfield. So this flexibility, level of flexibility that a player like that gives Mikel, we don't want to lose this player for 6-7 months. So fingers crossed, hopefully, it's not as bad as we think it was going to be. Now, let's go to Kai Havertz. I'm trying to look for the slide on Kai. It's going down. Yeah, this guy. Like you go through social media and you would have thought, oh, this guy delivered a stinker performance. I'm not somebody who was enamored with the idea of signing Kai because I'm like, why do we need to sign a player that we need to rebuild their confidence? I think we shouldn't be at that stage anymore where we sign players that we're trying to rebuild their confidence, give them confidence to be able to play, right? I thought we're going to the point that we're signing players like Timber coming into the team, Declan Rice, players who are exceptional for their teams. But I understand also that Kai Havertz was highlighted as one of the exceptional generational talents when he came out from Germany. Right? He was a player that the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, everybody was looking at that. They want this guy in their team. And Chelsea won the race. But it hasn't been a particularly great time in the last 3 years for him when it comes to Chelsea. But Mikel says something in him. Right? If Chelsea fans don't like him, they don't love him after he scored the winning goal in the Champions League, and he hasn't been the only player that's played for Chelsea in recent years that has been horrible. There's been a plethora of exceptionally talented players. Lukaku, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. The list is endless. Morata, players who just flop, especially attacking players. Ryan Sterling is not the best of time. Michael Modric. So it's a tough place for attackers for some reason. But he's here now. And he had a good game. He had a decent game. He competed. He won a lot of draws. He was able to take the problem I'm seeing right now when it comes to Kai is it looks like he's playing within himself, right? It looks like he's not trying like to take risk. His risk averse. Avert is risk averse right now, right? But it's not it shouldn't be a negative, right? It's getting stuck in. It's fighting for the badge, chasing long balls, winning headers. You need to give him time. Give him 10, 15 games at the very least. I understand also the reason why people feel this way. They don't want Arsenal to sign Chelsea rejects anymore, so to speak. Some people want Leon Trossard to play. There is a lot of games. There's going to be a lot of games. We won the damn game. There's going to be a lot of games. Mikel spent 65 million to sign this guy. Trossard is going to play a lot of games. It came on. Everybody's saying, oh, they want Trossard to start the season, blah, blah, blah. But did you watch Martinelli in that left wing space? He was a tormentor in chief. He was wicked. It was exceptional. So let's let the manager manage the players, manage the games. We're going to play between 50 to 65 Premier League games in all competition this year. What that means is enough games to go around. We can judge the manager by the middle of the season, end of the season, based on how he's managed the squad. But let him do his job. We won the goddamn game. Like, look at this, for example. Look at this guy right here. Where is that AFTV guy? Like, who says this? I have an agenda against Abbott. I know that it's good for the views, 17K views. But who says this? Who says this kind of thing? You're an Arsenal fan, repping Arsenal, watching Arsenal, going to the stadium, buying merchandise, you're wearing the jersey. And you say you have an agenda against a player. Do you want him to fail just to be right? That's the problem. I think that's a problem with a lot of people. They want to be right so bad. I didn't like the signing, but the manager wants the signing. So I'm going to give the signing ample opportunities in Arsenal shirt. I know he didn't particularly like the Premier League up in the Chelsea jersey, but in an Arsenal jersey, he hasn't been bad. He's been average. So I'm going to give him time to adjust. Declan Rice has been average in an Arsenal jersey. The only player we've seen so far that has been very good in an Arsenal jersey is Julian Timber. But I'm going to give these players time. They have to learn the system. They have to learn their teammates. The class has been in the Premier League for 6 years, balling for West Ham in a team that predominantly defends. You can see in the game yesterday that sometimes he doesn't know where to be on the pitch. Partey receives the ball on the half turn in the midfield. Declan Rice, you're too close. No need to be so close. Partey is going to find you. You're not playing with Tomas Suchek. Those are not the players you're playing with. You're playing with a world-class defensive midfielder who can pick a pass in between the lines. That is literally his job. Stay in the half spaces and he's going to find you. You have to trust the players. You see Odegaard, he's not running towards Partey, oh, give me the ball 6 yards away from you. No, he's going to stay in between those players, position himself correctly, and receive the ball on the half turn. Now you're facing the field. The field is open up for you. Once Declan Rice learns that and learns to trust Partey, learns to trust William Saliba, not just running to Saliba to get the ball off of him, he's going to receive the ball facing. And now he can use his legs, he can use his motor skills. The same way with Kai Havertz. He's going to build relationship with people like Martinelli, Julian Timber, and the like. Give him ample opportunity. Then if he fails, yeah, criticize him, criticize the manager. Criticism is fair. But you can't say something like, have an agenda against Kai Havertz. It's disgusting. I cannot tell people how to be a fan, but this is absolutely deplorable. But everybody is different and they have a different feel or different how they want to do things. I want to give kudos to Edin Ketia. I saw the stats yesterday. 16 starts at the Emirates Stadium, we scored 14 goals. That is exceptional. But we also know that the sample size for Eddie is really, really small in terms of minutes, in terms of being the number one striker. I don't think Ateta particularly sees Eddie as a starting centre forward for Arsenal to play 50, 60 games. If that happens, fine. But it's all about the squad. Trossard is going to play left wing. Trossard is going to play centre forward. Sometimes Trossard will have to play right wing. Gabriel Jesus might have to play right wing this season. Kai Havertz might have to be centre forward this season. We play by committee. We share goals by committees, right? Because we don't have a striker in the mode of Harry Kane, in the mode of Erling Haaland. As good as Gabriel Jesus is, if Gabriel Jesus is a striker that delivers 20, 25, 30 goals this season, he's going to be a world-class player. Because in terms of just ability alone, ability to beat a man, ability to dribble, ability to turn, to pass, ability to the strength of Gabriel Jesus, he has all the markings of a world-class player. But he's never scored 30 goals a season in all competitions. So, but it gives other things that allows other players to get more goals, to arrive late into the box. So we share goals by committees. Gabriel Martinelli, 15 goals last season, the highest that's ever been scored by a Brazilian player in the Premier League. Tied with Roberto Firmino. That's a player who plays on the left flank, right? 15 non-penalty goals. Let that sink into your brain. Bukayo Saka, 14 Premier League goals last season. I think 11 assists. That's exceptional. 25 GA. So you can criticize. You can say, oh, Eddie can't turn on a sixpence, can't press as much as Gabriel Jesus, but he scores goals. If Eddie gets us 7, 8 Premier League goals this season, Gabriel Jesus gets us 13, 14 Premier League goals. We get between 13 to 17 from Martinelli and Saka. And the midfielders contribute at least 6, 7 between them. They can rise 6, Kai Havertz 6, 7, depending on where he plays. Thomas Partey 3, 4. Martinelli got 10 Premier League goals. We're talking about 90, 100 goals a season. That is a Premier League championship winning goal scoring team. And that is highly achievable. Very, very, very achievable based on the composition of the squad and the dynamics between the squad right now. Eddie, call me, man. How do we end this? How do we end it? I want to end this with Bukayo. These two boys right here. My God. My God. Martinelli had an underwhelming preseason. He probably had one good game, really good game in preseason. Bukayo Saka, 1 or 2 good games, great games in preseason. But you see these two boys, the top 5, top 6 best wingers in the Premier League. Left wing, right wingers. I don't think there's many out there in world football that are better than the pair of these guys. Saka has every season you see Saka adding something to his repertoire, right? Initially, he wasn't scoring enough goals. He started scoring 8, 10, 12 goals. The goals are going up every season. The assist goes up every season. The strength goes up. The dribbling goes up. The right foot unlocked. Now he's unlocked the R2 from outside the box. He's unlocked it. He's going to score more of those kind of goals. What a goal. What a strike. Very little backlift. No backlift at all. He turned. He was almost falling. He rolled the ball. 2 goalkeepers in that post. Nobody's catching that. We're looking at some of the best players in the Premier League in this picture. These two guys. Exceptional. Martinelli's skill. I thought I was watching Zinedine Zidane in his pomp. That's a joke. But if we're going to achieve anything this season, we're going to need these boys' feet. We're going to need good rotation to make sure they arrived March, April, May in peak physical condition. That's why rotation is important. That's why we need Leandro Trossard to carry some of the load. That's why we need probably one more attacker in this squad. That's why we're going to need Reece Nelson to carry some of the load. We alternate between rotations. We rotate Saka today, rotate Martinelli the next game. But oh my God, these are some players. We're going to need Smith Rowe to come back into form, give us 5 to 8 goals this season. We're going to need Fabio Vieira. We're going to need the whole squad to contribute, to feel that they're part of something. And that's going to be on my manager, Mikel Arteta. We are onto something here, guys. Let's be constructive when it comes to criticism of the player. Saka didn't have a particularly great game, in my opinion, right? But he had great moments. That's the sign of a matured player, right? Even when they're not lighting up the game. For a period of 15, 20 minutes, Saka was just untouchable in that game. But that's it. That's enough. That's all he needed to do. 2 goals up, control the game. The game was on cruise control, right? We could have just won the game easy, 2-0, probably add one more goal in the 80-something minutes from Trossard or Kai or Declan Rice. Declan Rice had a couple of opportunities to score. But now you read everywhere, it's like we had the worst game in the history of football. It's disgusting. Anyway, on to the next one. One game at a time, win that game, move to the next one. Don't just be somebody in your armchair as a podcaster or a pundit and just say nonsense. So because Manchester won 3-0, we had to win 3-0. Yeah, I understand we need to reduce the number of goals we concede at the Emirates Stadium. It's going to come. I believe it's going to come this season. We'll see how Man City does too. Man City are going to have games like this. But people are not going to criticize them because they've won. That is how life is. So we're watching the evolution of a squad. We are adding something to our ammunition every season. The same way Saka and Martinelli are having those exponential improvements in what they do, how they see the game, how they understand the game, they like in-game management, how they manage their strengths within the game, when to run, not to run their batteries down. That's the same way Mikel is improving as a coach. You see something new, how to manage the game, how to manage the players. Was a great game on Saturday. Hopefully next week, Monday, we'll have a better game. We might have transfer news by then. Kieran Tierney might be going to Real Sociedad. We don't know, maybe the injury or not injury to Kieran Timber might change that. That is yet to be seen. But Zinchenko will probably come back into the squad. You're going to see a better, more balanced midfield. The client is going to have fun against Crystal Palace with Zinchenko playing. I guarantee you're going to see that Zinchenko is a different breed when it comes to inverted fullbacks. He's the best in the business. He's absolutely exceptional. He's gorgeous. The way he just rolls the passes in between the line. My God, that's a baller. I don't understand all the criticism, oh, he cries, blah, 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 blah. He's an exceptional footballer. We just need to learn how to use them, when to take them off, when to manage these games correctly. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for having me. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the content, and on to the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye. Stay blessed.